This is the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week pregame show.
No one takes a break tonight. We get after them for 4 quarters. You take what you want. It's your time. Go get it done, baby. Come on.
We have reached week 2 of the high school football season. Tonight, we're all set to feature a rare all-local matchup as Cardinal Mooney faces off with Hubbard in the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Ryan Allison. Lots of folks have been looking forward to this one for a long time.
Absolutely. These are two programs that have had a ton of success over the years. They just haven't played each other. In fact, the Eagles and Cardinals haven't faced off in a regular season football game in more than 40 years.
Let's take a look at tonight's matchup notes. It's been a while since they've met, but Cardinal Mooney and Hubbard have met a total of 14 times, with the Cardinals winning every single one of those matchups.
Yeah, the vast majority of those meetings came in the old Steel Valley Conference, so the last time they played in the regular season was all the way back in 1979. They did meet up in the playoffs in 2016. Mooney ended up on top in that one.
Let's take you back to 2016. Mooney and Hubbard meeting in a playoff battle. Hubbard with the ball back before the half. They cough it up. The Eagles with 3 costly turnovers in that ball game, and the Cardinals capitalized. Jalen Hewlett finished with 2 touchdowns on the night. Fourth quarter, Mooney up 14-9. They ice it. Patrick Pellini with a 23-yard touchdown run. Mooney runs away with the win by a final of 27-9. The Cardinals with a tough start to this season last Friday night on the road, facing off with rival Boardman.
Yeah, the Spartans piled up 500 yards of total offense. Sean O'Hora was a workhorse for Boardman. He rushed for over 200 himself, helping the Spartans to a 28-7 victory over Mooney in the regular season opener.
Let's take a closer look at Mooney. Head coach Carl Pellini entering his 2nd season heading up the program at his alma mater. He enters the night 2-7.
Yeah, Cards much better prepared this season. They're hoping to bounce back with a win and avoid a 2nd consecutive season with 2 straight losses.
Leading the way for Cardinal Mooney this fall, senior running back Devontae Miller. He's the feature back with fellow senior running back Zaire Rogers out with an ankle injury.
And Miller has certainly answered the call. Coach Pellini says he's a really physical runner with great vision. He calls Miller the hardest runner on the football team. He's also a force on defense, getting his teammates lined up properly, and he's the leading tackler for the Cardinals.
Miller told us he models his game after the big bruising back Derrick Henry of the Titans because he's a beast and he never gives up on a play. Hubbard coaches and players have taken notice.
I think what you like right away is just he's a power guy. You know, he's not going to, try. He'll run through you if he can. He's kind of a one-cut guy, and he gets downhill pretty quickly. So you have to try to get to him before he gets going, or he could be very dangerous, especially in second and third level.
His ability to cut and going downfield as hard as he can. One cut and go, smashing through people, dominating them.
When we come back, we'll turn our attention to Hubbard. The Eagles flying high, fresh off a record-setting performance in week number 1. You're watching the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week.
You're watching the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week pregame show.
And welcome back as the countdown to kickoff continues. Let's now turn our attention to Hubbard, a team that is plenty motivated heading into week number 2.
No doubt. The Eagles told us earlier this week they want to be the first team in program history to beat Cardinal Mooney, so that winless streak is fresh in their minds.
Yes, it certainly is. They bring plenty of momentum into the 2nd week of the season based on how things turned out just 1 week ago.
That's right. Hubbard rolled past Norwayne 48-28 in the season opener. The Eagles piled up 551 yards on the ground as a team. T.C. Caffey was the story with a school record 456 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns.
Now, fresh off that win, the Eagles, of course, are 1-0. Brian Hoffman has done a tremendous job since taking over the program at Hubbard. He has 115 wins to his name.
Yeah, he's now in his 15th year at Hubbard, and he has never had a losing season with the Eagles. That's amazing. In fact, the last time this program finished below 500 was all the way back in 1998.
The aforementioned T.C. Caffey has certainly had a lot to do with all that recent success.
That's right. He's led the Eagles in rushing in both his sophomore and junior seasons. His rushing numbers from last week were some of the best in state history. His 456 yards on the ground, the 15th most in a game all time. Coach Hoffman has coached a lot of great backs in his time, and he calls Caffey the hardest worker he's ever coached.
That is high praise. Caffey brings great vision to the field. He makes cuts on a dime, and opposing defenders won't be so quick to get in front of him one-on-one. He has a tendency to run people over. He told us he models his game after Alvin Kamara and wants to dominate whenever he steps on the field.
Well, I saw him in track season, and I already got nervous. So he's physical, he's got great speed, and he has good vision, so he finds the hole, and he's always moving north and south. He's not one of those lateral runners. He goes north and south, and so he hits the seam, and he had a lot of big plays, a lot of 80, 90-yard runs just because he hits it so fast and he gets vertical, and if you miss one tackle, he's out the gate. So you got to be really smart about how you defend him.
His elusiveness, and his he a big bulky guy. He trucking, running guys over, kind of like me.
Let's check out our keys to the game. Cardinal Mooney looking to improve on offense. Coach Pelini says his team needs to sustain drives and take advantage of red zone opportunities.
Hubbard, on the other hand, is focused on forcing bad situations. They want to leave the Cardinals with long yardage on second and third downs, so they must be sound defensively. And finally, both sides are traditionally very strong up front on the offensive and defensive lines, so winning the war in the trenches will be very important tonight.
So the spotlight is shining brightly on high school football's biggest stage. We're just about ready for kickoff. Cardinal, Mooney, and Hubbard face off next on the WKBN High School Football Game of the Week.